Hello, and welcome back to my channel. For most of my college career, I had at least one term paper due each semester. These term papers were 8 to 15 pages in length, double-spaced, and have to have scholarly sources, which is a far cry from just regurgitating information on a test. You have to actually read the information, digest it, then give your own opinion, and use the research material that you have gathered to support your conclusion. This is called critical thinking, and unfortunately schools are not teaching it. They are teaching to the state standardized test. The United States is in trouble. A mediocre game show host, who did not understand the basics of our democracy himself, assembled a dangerous mob and attacked our capital. If people would understand the basics of American politics, they would be better off. If people would understand the basics of American politics and engaged in a meaningful way, they would never be enticed to go to Washington, D.C. and participated in the insurrection. I am not talking about 300 and 400 college level, not even 200, but just basic high school level. I wish that the Republican Party would get smarter and stop indulging a man who is so stupid that it is embarrassing. His impeachment should not be expunged, but should stand as a warning to all future presidents from all sides of the political spectrum that if you even dare to attack our United States Capitol, we will treat you like we treat all terrorists, and that is, we will ensure you never harm anybody ever again, especially Americans. We are one of the most uneducated nations in the world. It is sad but true. High schools claim to teach the basics of our political system, but as demonstrated on January 6th, they obviously failed. You would think classrooms would take priority over a new gym. If people had a basic understanding of the American voting process, they would not be tricked by Donald Trump, who said there was fraud even before the first votes were cast. They would say, wait, he lost states, the math does not add up, and would never have gone to D.C. But because we do not have uniformity in education, Trump took advantage of that weakness and exploited the dumbest people. Yes, those people were dumb. Just because you sat in a school for 8 hours a day does not mean you learned anything. How can we make it so that all people have a good education? We need to first establish a national curriculum that all schools follow. This would help inform people and discourage those who seek to undermine democracy. Second, we need to get funding for the public schools and end private schools. Private schools such as religious schools are draining resources that public schools can use while discriminating against students and staff. Third, we need to ensure schools are using the latest editions of their textbooks, which comes back to funding. Finally, we need to end segregated special education classrooms and teach all kids what they need to learn. I feel a lot of the issues that we are facing as Americans stem from students going through 12 or 13 years of education and not having a basic understanding of history. Then they have outlandish conspiracy theories that are so out there and do not make any sense, but yet people believe them. If people had a basic education, they would stop and think before acting. Education is so important, and getting a quality education is just as important. I told you how special education really can be good or can be awful depending on how services and support are delivered. We need to make sure that all diplomas are equal, and no matter if you live in a big city or in Europe, America, you have the same education. We need to ensure that people have a basic understanding of how government and the voting process work. We need to make sure that the correct version of history is being taught, and not that African Americans benefited from slavery or the Holocaust didn't happen. We must be educated to the point that we can be able to have real conversations so we can move forward, not backwards. Education is so important, and until we invest in our schools, we will be facing the same things over and over. We, as Americans, must ensure that all students in all 50 states are educated to the best of our ability. Will we rise to the challenge, or will we fail? I do not know, but for the sake of America, I hope so. Please like, share, and subscribe. Follow me on social media. Links are in the description below. I will see you soon.